Oluchi is a very beautiful woman who is in her late 30s. She lived in Umaro village and was a well-known trader. She was known for her expertise in trading food items like cocoa, palm oil, yams, and garri. At age 37, she had a very successful business and had enough money to live on and gain the respect of everyone in the village. But there was one thing she really wanted that she didn't have: a husband. In her family, Oluchi was the first daughter. She had 3 younger sisters, 2 of whom are married and living happily with their husbands. It was just Oluchi and her youngest sister, who is the last born, that is remaining in their father's house. She felt left out and deserted. Oluchi was very sad and down because all of her friends were married with kids. Suitors were coming for Oluchi, but they weren't the kind of man she wanted because they were not rich. The men that came for her were either palm wine tappers, village drunks, and men with unyielding farmland. Since they were all poor, Oluchi didn't think they were on the same level as her. She thought they were all after her wealth. She wanted a man with the same level of wealth as her. But it seems as though wealthy men were not coming. Oluchi wasn't initially worried because she believes God's time is best. But when a suitor came to ask for her younger sister's hand in marriage, she became very anxious and worried. On the day her sister's bride price was to be paid, all her aunties and uncles who came in from different parts of the village were in attendance. Their house was filled with visitors who were so busy with the marriage preparations. One of her aunties, Mama Nkechi, bumped into Oluchi and started questioning her. "Oluchi, why are you still in your father's house? Why have you decided not to get married like your mates and bear children? Are you not old enough, eh? Your younger sisters are all married and now even the last born of the house is getting married and you're here serving food at her traditional wedding." "Auntie, I will not marry myself. I'm waiting for the right man." "You will keep waiting for the right man till you grow white hairs. Marry one of the men seeking your hand in marriage. Money is not everything." Oluchi in shame answered, "Auntie, I will not marry myself. I'm waiting for the right man." Oluchi felt terrible and was about to leave the house when she saw a group of women talking about her. "Isn't this the family witch? Her younger sisters are all married, but she's not married yet. Instead, she's here making plans for her younger sister's wedding. Why does she still need to wait? She will stay unmarried and her younger sister's kids will be married. Maybe she has a bad spirit that keeps chasing away men. Look at her. She still thinks she's still young. Maybe she has a bad character, which is why she's still single and no one finds her beautiful." She felt unfortunate when she heard the conversation from these women. She went back inside and locked herself in her room and started to cry. "Oh God, why don't you just give me my own husband? Must I be laughed at for my prayers to be answered?" Oluchi questioned God. Meanwhile, a lot of people were having fun at the gathering, but Oluchi was crying in her room. Soon after the wedding ceremony ended, it dawned on Oluchi that she's the only one left in her parents' house. She felt lonely, empty, depressed and unsatisfied. Her cocoa business was doing well, but she was still not happy. It even got worse when her mother constantly asked her when she's bringing a suitor home. Every time she did something wrong, her mother would nag and complain. Oluchi couldn't stand her mother's nagging, so she stopped going home. Instead, she slept at her cocoa store. She would only go home on the weekends. One afternoon, a friend of hers, Adobe, came to see her while she was in her store thinking about her life. Adobe saw how sad and moody her friend looked. She was lost in her thoughts. She called Oluchi right away and she jumped up in surprise. "What are you thinking about? You seem so moody and sad. Is it because you haven't found a husband yet? Well, I think you should try to get pregnant and have at least one child. You're not getting any younger Before you know it, your womb will no longer be able to hold children. Oluchi gave a deep sigh. She adjusted for her friend to sit down. After giving what her friend said a thought, she decided she would marry any man who is interested in her, regardless of his status, whether rich or poor. At this point, all she wanted was to get married and have children. But unfortunately for Oluchi, men were no longer coming, so she began to pray to God to give her just any man. After 2 months, one day, while at her store in the market square, she met a young man named Emeka. He was a tall, handsome man who is in his early 40s. He had come to make some purchase from the village market when he saw Oluchi and liked her. He started to make advances at her. Oluchi readily accepted his advances. During their courtship, Oluchi noticed some strange and troubling behaviors. However, she dismissed them, clinging only to the belief that he would change after marriage. Because she wasn't worried about money, Oluchi never tried to find out what Emeka did for a living. She only knew that he was working, and she thought everything would be okay as long as she had money. She didn't pay attention to any of the warning signs about him because she was so eager to get married. After a few months, Oluchi and Emeka got married. They were flooded with congratulations, especially from Oluchi's mother, who was happy that her daughter had finally found a husband. The day started with celebration, but when the last guest left, Oluchi felt a strange vacuum. She was now alone to face her marriage. The truth about her choice was that she did it because she was desperate. This is just the beginning of Oluchi's pain and agony. Watch out for part 2. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the story, tell us about it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. See you in our next story. Bye.